Wise people don't just know things, they understand people. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. In this video, I'm going to do a book review of the book called How to Know Someone by David Brooks. In the book, the author teaches you the art of truly getting to know another person, and in doing so, he allows you to foster your relationships at home, at work, and beyond. I'll share some major takeaways from the book and ways that you can help improve your relationships. Let's get into it. Okay, let's start with the problem. David Brooks states that we think that we see reality clearly, but in reality, that's just not true. There's a concept known as naive realism, which means that we assume that others see what we see. However, every person is a unique point of view, a unique perspective. Since we assume that others see the way we do, then we tend to not appreciate varying perspectives. And because we don't appreciate these varying perspectives, then there starts to become a disconnect between ourselves and others. This problem becomes worse in the modern world because a good amount of us spend time on social media. Social media creates the illusion of connection, but that's not really what's happening here. Social media leads to us judging others and not truly understanding what's going on. David Brooks shares a small story that I think sums up this perspective problem perfectly. It's a story about a man that's standing on one side of the river and there's a woman standing on the opposite shore. She shouts out to him, "Hey, how do I get to the other side of the river?" And he says, "You are standing on the other side of the river." This concept of naive realism highlights the importance of re-examining our skills of connecting with others and understanding other people. In doing so, we open our eyes to the fact that we may not be as wise as we think, or maybe our realities are not as true as we believe. Once you understand the problem underlying our abilities to connect with others, you're then introduced to the core skill, which is truly understanding what someone else is going through. It's the foundation of all social skills. The greatest gift that you can give someone is to make them feel seen, heard, valued, and understood. A major question that is asked in this book that I challenge you to think about is, when's the time that you truly felt seen? Who was the person that made you feel seen, and what did they do or say to make you feel seen? Going back to perspective, David Brooks highlights the importance of understanding that everyone constructs their own realities, that everyone has their own unique perspective. If you understand this fact, then to get to know someone, you can ask people how they interpret events and how they construct reality. You will eventually realize that perception is creative and not objective. This is reminiscent of the idea that we're all artists and designers of our own lives. Simply stated, it's the understanding that people construct their realities based on their experiences that is a doorway into who the person is. Remember that the next time that you have a conversation with someone that you're getting to know. David Brooks then goes on to share actionable skills that will help you to truly get to know someone. These are the major takeaways. The first is to pay strong attention. He shares a quote by an individual named Parker Palmer, which states that the shape of our knowledge becomes the shape of our living. An absolutely powerful quote, which means that the way you see the world is essentially what becomes the way you see yourself. If you see others generously, you will see yourself generously. If you see others coldly, you will see yourself coldly. Pay strong attention to the way you see others, and that will in turn shape who you are and how you connect with other people. Second, be curious about inner worlds. People are constantly refining their consciousness based on their experiences. Knowing this, you should rather focus not on just experiences, but how people interpret those experiences, what they do with those experiences. Think of questions like, what did you learn from that experience? Or how did that experience shape you? What would you have done differently? The answers to those questions reveal so much about that person and in turn allow you to connect with that person, make them feel seen, and to truly know them. And lastly, flow like water. This has more to do with the demeanor you should have as you're trying to get to know someone. Accompany them, flow with them. Don't try to force anything. Don't be hurried. Be sensitive to what they're saying and what they're expressing. Stand alongside them as you guys embark on a new journey together. So why does this all matter? Throughout the majority of the book, you will be focused on how you can develop skills to connect with others and to truly get to know someone. But the reality is, as you embark on this journey, what you'll really be doing is transforming yourself too. The quality of your life truly depends on the quality of the attention that you give to others. And the best relationships are the ones that help you repair internal outdated models. One fascinating concept that stuck with me in this book is the idea that communication is a much better tool than introspection for improving yourself as a person. David Brooks states that at some point in our lives, most people will encounter a crisis where they realize that their models, which they used to see the world, are no longer working. You may turn to introspection, you may reflect, you may think about why these models are no longer working, but that's simply not enough. Communication, talking to people that help you revisit these models is the best way. And this reminded me of my therapist. The author describes therapists as story editors, which I absolutely love, because what they do is they help you to see your story from a different perspective and then to re-edit it. You have the power to look at the experiences you've had from a different point of view. So in getting to know others and forming truly meaningful, deep relationships, these people can in turn help you to see yourself in ways that you didn't think was possible. Knowing others is how we really come to know ourselves. Remember that a person is a point of view. It's a living, changing story. I thoroughly enjoyed this book and I would recommend it to absolutely anybody. It's well written, easy to understand, and it gives you actionable items that you can apply in your own life. Seeing someone deeply helps them to reveal their story. An interesting question that you can ask somebody this week is, what's one thing that people don't see about you? If you're interested in the idea that I just posed, that communication is the best way to work on yourself and to help refine the models that you use to see the world, check out this video I conveniently made about why you should try therapy. It was life-changing for me, and my therapist acts as my story editor, where I can revisit my experiences and change the perspective and how I view them. I hope you enjoy this book. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in next week's video.